When it comes to alcohol, singers tend to be divided into two very opposite groups. There are those that never touch the stuff and those that overindulge. Now, I know you've probably heard a lot of warnings about singing and drinking, probably from vocal coaches. But I want to offer up a little more sober of a perspective. Mostly because I don't think fear is a good place to operate out of, and neither is stupidity. So I put together a little quiz for you to help separate the facts from the phobias. Alright, so first question. Which one of these beverages has ethanol or ethyl alcohol? Would it be the beer, the wine, or the whiskey? Okay, if you answered any one of these beverages, you'd be wrong, because the alcohol in all three of them is exactly the same. All three have ethanol. Alright, trick question. Sorry about that. Next one. Since they all three have ethanol, which has the most alcohol? Would it be 12 ounces of beer? Would it be 6 ounces of wine? Or 1 ounce of Jack? Another trick question. Because the fact is, the alcohol content in all three of these is exactly the same. So don't think you're getting away drinking lighter because you're just having a glass of wine. It's exactly the same as having a shot of whiskey. Okay, new question. True or false? Alcohol dries out your vocal folds when it washes over them on its way to your stomach. False. And here's why. Here's an x-ray of someone swallowing. Notice how the fluid shoots right down the throat. Here's a top view. That's because the epiglottis, that little flap closing over the hole there, prevents anything from going down into the lungs. Your vocal cords are here, trachea goes down into the lungs, and the epiglottis is a flap that closes over so nothing goes down the wrong pipe. So that means nothing we swallow ever touches the folds. From water to alcohol, it's got to get in your system first, come through the bloodstream, and then replenish or dry out the vocal folds. So that leads me to the next question. After you consume a drink, how long does it take for it to show up in your bloodstream? Is it 5 minutes, 20 minutes, or an hour? If your answer was B, well, you'd be correct. See, when we drink alcohol, 20% of it is absorbed in the stomach right away, and the rest is absorbed in the small intestines. But immediately the heart starts pumping it to every part of the body, including the central nervous system, meaning the spine and the brain. So that means within 20 minutes, you're starting to feel the effects. You're starting to feel lightheaded and relaxed because alcohol is a depressant, so it works on the nerves and the way they communicate, interfering. What it does is start slowing everything down. And it's the slowing down of that communication within the brain, that's what makes us feel less inhibited when we have a drink. And that's the obvious attraction to alcohol for singers that are a little bit nervous. And you know what? I don't have a problem with that, because the anxiety that can sort of grip a singer before they're about to perform has just as detrimental effect on drying, because the cortisol in your system is going to trigger you into fight or flight mode. So sometimes just an ounce of alcohol can calm down that irrational fear we have just as we're about to step on stage. The problem is obviously when people overindulge, because it has a top-down effect. Alcohol affects the prefrontal cortex first, and then the emotional center, and then the coordination centers, and then the brainstem. So with every drink in a short amount of time, your facilities are getting more and more and more trashed. There's obviously a problem there. And that brings me to my next question, which is actually pretty important. How long does it take for the alcohol in one drink to be processed out of your body? Now the answer here is A. It takes about an hour for your body to process or metabolize out the alcohol that's in one drink. Now keep in mind your body weight is a factor there, and also whether or not your stomach's empty. Because if there's food, it's going to slow down the absorption of the alcohol. But here's where the water issue comes into play. See, alcohol is dissolved in water. So when your liver is busy ridding your body of the alcohol, it will flush out quite a bit of water in the process. So the solution there is pretty simple. When you have a drink, just match it with a nice big glass of water. And that will offset any negative aspect of having a drink of alcohol. Now keep in mind, I am not advocating or suggesting that you drink. If you're underage, if you're allergic, or if you're addicted to alcohol, obviously you should stay away. All I'm saying is that there are well-researched, documented health benefits of having a drink of alcohol. Moderation is the key here. I'm just saying one drink is okay. And I'm also saying that 6 or 7 drinks is not more okay. Now I think I'll continue with my research here. Here's to better singing.